Alright folks, sort of a quick little mini announcement before this video starts. This is going to be a Dead by Daylight video that will be mirrored on my specific Dead by Daylight channel, Lawrence Space DBD. That's not like an underscore, I just spaced it out, so if you want to search it up on YouTube, it'll be Lawrence, Lawrence, with a space, and then capital DBD. Stay tuned after, I will have more announcements about other channels. I just wanted to get that out of the way real fast, and let's talk about Dead by Daylight again. Alrighty then folks, I now have over 150 hours into the game. I think I can justifiably extend to y'all my further opinion of it for further discussion. When I did the Go Play video, I think I only had about 5 or 10 hours in, and while I still agree with my assertions in that video, for the most part, I now have a little bit more insight into the game that I'd like to bring up. So for the uninitiated, gen rushing is the idea that survivors are doing gens too gosh darn fast. When the game first came out, it referred to using a bunch of brand new parts and doing a gen in like 30 seconds, but now it's anytime survivors are doing the gens as quickly and efficiently as possible. What else are survivors supposed to do? That's how they win the game and survive the trial. You are literally getting mad at the survivors for playing the game better than you. Here's the thing, even if they're quote-unquote gen rushing, the killer should, even if by pure luck, stumble onto at least 1 or 2 survivors, and from there, if you're doing a halfway decent job, you should be able to keep at least a little bit of pressure going in your favor. Not saying you'll magically get the 4 kills, but you should be able to slow down gen repairs. And let's say they magically stealth out of the entire game and rush all 5 gens before you can lift a finger. They accomplish literally nothing else and only get at best 8,000 blood points. That's pretty low. So let me ask Killer Mains, are you mad because it's not the most efficient way to play, or are you mad because it worked? Unpopular opinion, but I think Moris are fine. Let me explain. So what Moris do is they let the killer get a quick kill on a survivor if they've hooked them once. Cypress doesn't really matter because it only lets you kill the last remaining survivor. If you're in a position to use a Cypress Mori, chances are you don't need it. Ivory Mori lets you kill 1 survivor after you've hooked them, and Ebony Moris let you kill all the survivors after you've hooked them. I'm fine with this because using Moris at the earliest possible convenience means you deny yourself several blood points. So I think it's a fair trade-off. End the game much faster but get a much lower score. I've ended games within the time limit of corrupt intervention and gotten next to no blood points or pips for my trouble. It was as much a waste of my time as it was for the survivor. Real fast, tunneling is when you go after 1 survivor exclusively, and camping is when you sit at a hook survivor. In both situations, the killer is completely occupied. See where this is going? It takes a full 2 minutes to die on first hook if you fight back as much as possible. Generators take 80 seconds at base without interruption to complete. You know where the killer is, and you have more than enough time to do a gen and make the save. Anytime I run into a killer doing this, worst case scenario, the killer gets 1 kill while we finish doing gens. This is of course assuming my teammates are getting stuff done instead of getting down trying to save the hook. So let me ask survivor mains, are you mad because it isn't the most efficient way to play the game, or are you mad because it worked? The grind for blood points is the thing that single-handedly makes me take week-long breaks from the game. I already bought killers like Leatherface and Michael Myers. I think it's ridiculous I then have to drown hours into the game just to level up characters I otherwise don't plan on using so I can get their teachable perks. Due to this level of grind, I'm now of the opinion Dead by Daylight should be a free base game, paying money for the Auric Cells, cosmetics, and expansion packs only. To add to that, I also believe Auric Cells should be usable on the Blood Web in some way. Those or iridescent shards. Generally speaking, this is one of the best communities I've seen for games. I'll be honest, however, I don't like the devs too much. They seem to really enjoy letting people know they block others who talk smack or make an obscene joke on Twitter. That kind of progressive wuss style of making a snarky comment then preventing the other party from being able to interact in kind. It's because of the devs' social media behavior I refuse to spend any more money on the game. I paid full price for the Silent Hill add-on and got the Myers, Leatherface, and Blight expansions on sale, and that's more than enough money they can get from me. The content creators, on the other hand, are generally fantastic individuals. I think there's only one guy on YouTube I find abhorrent as far as Dead by Daylight content creators go. My personal favorite being Pain Relievers and his key moments. Go look up his channel and see where that in-joke comes from. This subreddit is also hilarious. Dead by Daylight has lent itself out for some great memes, and I highly recommend giving them a look over. Probably my biggest point of contention with the player base is this whole notion of unfun. Survivors flame killers for using unfun Moris and perk combinations like Hex Ruin and Hex Undying, and killers flame survivors for using unfun items like keys and perk combinations like Decisive Strike and Unbreakable. You know what's really unfun? The unbridled frustration I experience playing Survivor, and I loop the killer long enough to max out my boldness points, and not a single generator has been done because my teammates were doing absolutely nothing during the entire time. And I know they were doing nothing because I had Bond and could see them crouching behind trees being fully immersed and either too scared or stupid to press a button and interact with the generator not 10 meters away from them. That is unfun. Your opponent using the most effective tactics available against you isn't unfun, it's ranked. I hate to break it to y'all, but when something has any sort of ranked ladder attached to it, you're going to see the pool of available strategies dwindle to the top 2 or 3 at high level. It's the nature of the beast. Dead by Daylight has 70 or so perks with only 4 or 5 being viable at high level, just like Pokemon has a cast of over 800 playable characters with only 20 being viable at high level, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Having somewhere in the ballpark of around 10,000 different cards and only 100 or so of them being viable at high level. That being said, I think a dedicated ranked mode would go a long way to curb this complaint. Alright folks, like I said, this video will be mirrored on my Dead by Daylight specific channel. I've decided to set up a few different other channels for specific games that I play to kind of consolidate everything, I guess might be the word I'm looking for. So, the main channel, the one I imagine you're watching this off of right now, Mr. Snow, that's going to be used for my Go Plays, Go Watches, and maybe some other commentary on, I don't know, maybe like a game that's doing something that I felt like talking about. And then I split up a Lawrence YGO for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, Lawrence DVD for my Dead by Daylight content, and a Lawrence FFXIV for my Final Fantasy XIV content. The 14 and Dead by Daylight channels don't have anything except for this current current video being mirrored on that right now. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, if you're interested in that, has a couple of remote dual locals that I've applied commentary to and try to give you a bit of a play-by-play for it. If that's your thing, go check those out. It'll always be Lawrence space and either DBD, YGO, or FFXIV. Pardon me. And I just wanted to put that message out there at the end of this video. I'll probably do it a couple more times just to kind of promote those channels again, but in the meantime, y'all have a great day.